Marjorie Taylor Greene, she said the secret part out loud. She has said that if she organized the terrorist attack on January 6th, along with Steve Bannon, not only would it have been done effectively, they would have won according to her, they would have been armed. Here's the video.
Then January 6th happens, and next thing you know, I organized the whole thing along with Steve Bannon here. And I want to tell you something, if Steve Bannon and I had organized that, we would have won. Not to mention, it would have been armed.
A few dynamics worthy of examination. Number one, that is a sitting United States congressperson who has now given significant advocacy for terrorism against the United States. Remember, the contextualization is important. If the people who stormed the Capitol would have had the last name Muhammad, this would have been called a terrorist attack. If it would have been organizers connected, even loosely connected to Black Lives Matter, this would have been called a terrorist attack. But they have now contextualized it differently for the sake of narrative, for the sake of reforming, reshaping history. These individuals, according to Marjorie Taylor Greene, they were just patriots who got a little rowdy and nothing more. But who would joke about something that was so violent, not only against police, but also against the Constitution, democracy, rule of law? Who would do that? Who would do it? Now, Marjorie Taylor Greene did it. She's not your only problem. Steve Bannon is not your only problem. You also have that crowd who broke out in applause when she said if they organized it, it would have been done right. Now, she's not running for Congress. She's not running for president. She's running to be the head of the terrorist organization that stormed that United States Capitol. She wants them to make her their new champion. That's what she's advocating for. Please understand what you just saw. All right, let me give you background and I will give you an update about Donald Trump. According to a legal expert, he's committed 3 crimes that are 100% verifiable. Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene entertained Republicans in Manhattan. This was Saturday night with a range of one-liners trolling the political left on hot button topics. I want to tell you something. If Steve Bannon and I had organized that, who would have won? Not to mention, we would have been armed, she said of her role at the January 6th, 2021 attack. Now remember, her campaign is going to say, you know, the Congresswoman was just joking. Congresswoman, do you joke about 9/11? Do you joke about any other acts of terrorism other than ones that are carried out by white Americans? Oh, okay. Those are the only ones you joke about. Got you. All right. The controversial Congresswoman was one of several high-profile conservative firebrands, including Donald Trump Jr. And many others who progressives were not there, obviously. And this was hosted by the New York Republican Club. Now, the New York Republican Club is an interesting group. At one point, they used to be much more moderate, obviously. They are not anymore. They have transformed over the years. Rudy Giuliani was there. Steve Bannon was there. Listen, all the has-beens were in one place. Every single one of them. There's more. According to an attorney, his name is Philip Rotner. We're talking about Trump and his conviction coming up, his charge and conviction. Newly appointed special counsel Jack Smith is taking over the Department of Justice investigation. I told you all about Jack Smith a while ago. I said once they appointed Jack Smith, that's a guarantee this is going to indictment. You do not appoint this cat because of his specialty without knowing somebody's getting indicted, all right? So they appoint Jack Smith. He's taking over the investigation of Donald Trump that has already made a strong case, obviously, for an indictment. So let me give you the 3 dynamics that he can be convicted under according to the legal expert. Number 1 is 18 USC 793E, makes it a crime punishable by fine and or imprisonment for up to 10 years, to have unauthorized possession of any document relating to the national defense or to willfully retain such a document and fail to deliver it to the officer of the United States who is entitled to receive it. Now, when this thing first happened, I said that's the number 1 charge in my opinion, right there. That's the number 1 charge. Now, this legal expert has been able to look at a few other federal statutes that absolutely apply. So let's go to the second dynamic. USC 1519, which is compelling. Subjects any person who knowingly conceals a document with the intent to impede, obstruct, or influence an investigation to a fine or imprisonment for up to 20 years. So while 1519 has the stiffer penalty as it relates to jail time, all right, it's actually 793, which basically creates a dynamic that would not allow Trump to run again. Now there's another one, 18 USC 2071. Provides that any person who willfully and unlawfully conceals any document deposited in any public office shall be fined and or imprisoned for up to 3 years, all right, 3 years. It also provides that any person who commits those acts shall be what? Disqualified from holding any office under the United States. That's right in the code section. So you have one that absolutely disqualifies you. The second conviction, the other one, would likely disqualify you based on interpretation. And the third one probably would not disqualify him because you can have a felony conviction and run for political office. You can run for president, we've had it done before. And one guy actually got about 1 million damn votes while in prison. Okay, dear brother, how do you read the tea leaves here? What are your thoughts?
White privilege is very wonderful. You know, in our community, when we say we have to do 10 times the amount to do X, Y, and Z, we acknowledge these type of situations. We see there's a gross application of the law. We recognize that when people in our community do nonviolent victimless crimes, we're seen as being the worst thing possible. You can't even run a school. You can't even clean a desk if you have a felony in my community. But to think about just the way in which those laws are actually worded, I find it a little tasteless to see that an individual could have these documents and still run the highest office in our country. That's just me, though.
Yeah, listen, it's a lot of us. And obviously there's something terribly wrong with the way we do our laws and the way we do our Constitution.